Yo, so I was trading and look who decided to join me. What up, buddy? Buddy just chilling at the balcony right there. Enjoying the sea view as well. Yo, so right now, I got my little coconut water right here and my iPad, chilling at the balcony, just journaling about my beautiful loss on Bitcoin shorts, no, Bitcoin long actually. So yeah, a lot of times you gotta understand that sometimes when you don't humble yourself, the market is gonna humble you. And to me, I'm a big believer that the best traders in this world are not the ones who have the highest win rate or the best strategy, but simply the ones who have learned how to lose cheaper, better, and faster than anybody else. And this has been true throughout my entire trading career, because if you look at my first year of trading, I lost a shit ton of money, right? I blown like 5 accounts, blown 7 accounts, failed like 5 funding challenges, almost blew away my life savings, lost $1,500 that my dad has gave me to actually pay school fees because I wanted to like double that amount of money in my trading, but this was like stupid beginner's mistake. But yeah, simply put, I lost a lot of money in trading in my first year. Or it seemed like a lot in that particular moment itself, because back then I had like less than $1,000 in my bank account, right? So if you are losing $10,000, that's a lot, right? Because it's just me keep on getting my ass whipped over and over again by the market. So that was my first year, and what I failed to realize is that those were simply the tuition I have to pay in order to buy wisdom, in order to gain experience in the markets. This is you right now, the unprofitable self, and then this is you in the future, the profitable self. And this gap right here, it's gonna be filled with a lot of mistakes, a lot of road bumps, a lot of obstacles, a lot of blown accounts, which also means that the more you lose, right, the closer this gap gets. Alright, so let me just repeat myself. What happens is that the more you lose, the more you fail, the more data you can collect. And the more data you can collect about your own trading, the more you can refine your own trading strategy, refine your edge, learn what's working, what's not working, do more of what works, less of what doesn't. And the more you can close this gap right here. That's how I define the path to consistency. Which also means that you have to learn how to lose better, faster, and cheaper than anybody else. For example, right now when I look at a loss just like this, which I lost about 23k on, which I publicly documented on my second channel, by the way, Brad Trades, right after I have lost another trade, which is on NQ, 16k, right, lost 16k on that trade, and then before that we made about 101k on like a trade on GU, right, so that was like a big boy trade. But anyways, to me, I perceive this as data points. Like when I actually post about these losses, that is gonna be some trollers in the comments saying, oh, this guy can't trade, this guy is shit at trading. But that's because you don't understand trading enough. Amateurs focus on how much they can make, but professionals focus on how much they can lose. It's like when I look at this right now, I just view this as a data point. I view every single loss as like a diamond that is covered in dirt, and by me reviewing the loss in my journal itself, what I'm doing is that I'm pretty much just wiping away the dirt, right? Just uncovering the gem behind the dirt so that I can actually improve, so I can actually get better. So right now, when I look at this loss on Bitcoin, instead of thinking that, oh, my trading strategy is not working, I suck at trading, I'm the worst trader in the world, I'm thinking about, okay, what went wrong here? All right, what could I have done better? What can I do in the future to prevent myself from making the same mistake right here? And in order for me to answer those questions, I first have to go and review the loss, as much as it hurts, and just see the market for what it is, okay? And just put my ego aside and just look at price for what it is. And when I look at this right now, I know that, okay, the reason why it went wrong was because the higher time frame structure was bearish. The internal structure was also bearish. But me trying to enter for a long right there, it's like trying to catch a falling knife. My assumption was that price was going to reverse and go up, right? Because it showed me some form of fractal market shift. It told me that the internal structure is showing signs that it's actually going to reverse. But what I failed to realize was that the fractal structure was reversing so that the internal structure can make like a pullback to create like a lower high before price continue going down even further. That's why price actually shifted bullish right here. It wasn't because price was going to reverse. It was because it was facilitating the short-term pullback before price continued dumping even further. So what I could have done better, a lot better in this particular trade, is to wait for my internal structure to actually shift bullish, right? Wait for the official market shift to happen. So this was more of like an aggressive trade, aggressive entry right there, right? And that's pretty much why I actually entered for this trade itself. Oh, too good, man. Too good. No tea today because I already drank tea in the morning. I can't be the only one who does this when I drink a coconut, like a fresh coconut. I dig the side for like the coconut meat. And I eat the coconut meat while drinking the coconut water. It's so fresh, man, this coconut. The water is like so sweet. The meat is so tender. Look at the amount of meat I've digged up. You're gonna make your money worth, man. This coconut cost me like freaking $10 for one. This Scotland is crazy for this. But yeah, gonna make your money worth. Gotta scrape off every single piece of meat within this freaking fresh coconut right there. So one of my students recently asked me in one of my coaching call, Brad, why haven't I figured the market out yet? You know, after all, I've been trading for like 3 months. So I asked him, cool, John, how many trades have you taken? And I replied, 10 trades a month. And then he asked me, how many trades did you take in your first year of trading? And I told him I took 100 trades a month, not a year, not 6 months, 100 trades a month. And then he didn't reply. He just nodded and said, all right, cool, I'll do more. And I think that's when I realized that most traders severely underestimate the amount of data and time it requires to get proficient at trading. Like if you think about it fundamentally, I took 100 trades a month and he took 10 trades a month, which also means that I was pretty much gathering 10 times more data than he was. So it pretty much gave me like a competitive advantage in a way where I was able to actually have like a tighter feedback loop. So I knew exactly where my strategy was going wrong, where it was going right, and what I can do better next time. What can I do differently next time? And I think that's pretty much me trying to shorten like the path to consistency, right? Like just me paying as much market tuition as possible to learn all the lessons necessary so that I can actually become profitable faster. Well, I did that in my first year and I learned so much about myself. Did I become profitable after my first year of trading? Hell no. Okay, but what I did become was more competent and more self-aware. I knew exactly when my emotions start to arise. I know exactly where I should be placing my take profit and my stop loss. And I knew exactly what are the best time to trade this particular currency pair, this particular asset class itself. All because I was getting a lot of exposure in the market itself. You know, I was just like habituating to the work of like just trading, because at the end of the day the work just needs to be done. And it's not only the work that needs to be done, it's the work that needs to be reviewed, right? So it's not just about doing, it's about reviewing the trades that you have taken, understanding your edge, and continuously refining and improving your edge. So yeah, remember, anything worthwhile takes time and volume. If it comes too quickly, it won't be valuable. If it takes too few reps, it will not be exceptional. So, nevertheless, trading is extremely difficult, but if you're able to put in the sufficient reps and you give it sufficient time so that you can actually get competent, proficient at analyzing the charts, you will be able to out-compete, outwork, and just outlast 99% of the traders out there. And that's how you win. You win by playing the long game.
Ever wonder whatever happened way back when?
So my dad is having the lobster and mushroom omelette. This is like really, really unique. Never seen this before, so it's pretty cool. And the kaya toast is so cute, bro. Look at this. Look at this little thing right there. Yeah, man. Pretty good buffet. Just chilling.
Songs we used to sing, the one about the lady in the long black veil. Should have seen the warning sign. Would I love to hear you well? High and lonesome, hard and strong, even if it was a little out of tune. Hotter than socks with a Jersey giant. Lord, I thought you hung the moon.
There is boop. Because like playing hide and seek with me, bro. Bro, modern nature is amazing, man. Ah, so cute, bro.
Okay, cool. So right now we are actually chilling at the private beach in this Ritz-Carlton hotel. It's so sick, man, because like there's like literally no one here except for me and my dad just chilling. As I was dining at the restaurant, it reminded me of the first job that I had taken at the age of 16 years old. So my first job was actually a waiter at a restaurant at Ritz-Carlton, right? So it's really like a full circle moment. Right now I'm dining at Ritz-Carlton, but I used to actually work here, not here, but like the outlet in Singapore itself. And it was after secondary school, you know, like throughout my entire life, my parents have been giving me allowance up until like the age of 16 years old, and I wanted to be like independent because like I know they weren't earning much, and I wanted to like make a living out of myself. So at the age of 16, I applied for a job as a waiter in this buffet restaurant in Ritz-Carlton, right? So I would actually take the train there, and then I arrived there around like 6 p.m. and then around 6 p.m. you have to actually change into like this white uniform. Once that's done, you have to report to the restaurant, and the restaurant owner, or rather the restaurant manager, actually taught me how to actually, you know, serve the plates, clear the plates, and actually carry like this big gigantic over tray which contains all like the old and dirty plates. I always work like a night shift from around like 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. and then at around 2 a.m. they will actually give us like this van which send us home, and then because of the fact that my house was like the furthest, I will always be like the last one to reach home, so I'll end up reaching home at around like 3 a.m. So those are the good old times, man. And while working at the restaurant, I have always envied the people that were dining at the restaurant, because I've seen how good the food actually look and how good it actually smells, right? And sometimes when there's like leftovers, the restaurant manager will like give us a little bit of the leftovers instead of like just throwing away. But a lot of times they end up throwing away because, yeah, for hygiene purposes, right? But yeah, I've always envied like eating there. So yeah, full circle moment, coming to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, being a guest here, I always just want to make sure that I'm very kind and polite to the staff, because of the fact that I was in their exact shoes. Like my dad used to be a housekeeper, right? Like he actually used to clean hotel rooms and stuff. And I used to be like a waiter at these 5-star hotels. So that is why like when we go to like these nice fancy restaurants, we always make sure that we treat the staff with respect, because of the fact that, once again, we were in their exact positions like years ago. And I just know how a simple gesture like saying good morning or like smiling at them will actually make their day, because it made my day back then, right? And I really believe that the highest form of nobility is service. It's like, if you focus on serving others, you will always be happy. But if you focus on serving yourself, you will always be miserable, right? It's quite ironic, but that's pretty much the truth. But yeah, man, anyways, full circle moment. Right now, just chilling at the beach right here. Man, I love life, bro. I'm so grateful for everything. It's crazy how we literally just made like what, 101k on one trade, and then we lost like 40k in the next 2 trades, like nothing. Like I really don't feel anything. I don't feel any emotion. And then back when I was 16 years old, I was bustling my ass off so I could make like $8 an hour. So I could make like what, a few $100s a month. Levels to the game, guys. Levels to the game. But yeah, I hope this vlog serves as like a little motivation for the people who are trying to get out of their miserable life, and I hope this serves as like an inspiration, right, for the aspiring traders who wants to live that amazing lifestyle where they retire their parents, where they travel the world, where they actually be truly free. And I believe the highest form of freedom is not financial freedom, it's freedom from the mind. And I think that's something that I have really achieved. And that's probably like my most proud accomplishment. It's the fact that I don't want anything, I don't desire anything. I have everything that I need, I have everything that I ever want. And this allows me to be more grateful and content with what I have, which also means that I'm more likely gonna treasure like what I have. And I think this is a superpower, to be honest with you guys, right? It's just the ability to be present in the moment, you know, enjoy like the beautiful ocean, hear the beautiful sea wave crashing onto the shore, and just thinking about how proud of my younger self I am, right? Like, younger Brad watching this would be so proud, man. Like, this is the life that he couldn't even fathom, and here we are, man. Here we are. There we go. From a waiter serving food to rich, wealthy customers at the Ritz-Carlton to now being an official customer of the Ritz-Carlton. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. This is good, man. Full circle moment like that.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze.
So this is the treatment room. You have 5 units. We call it the boo-boo. And each boo-boo have different.
I thought these were hotel rooms when I saw in the picture.
Me too. The first time I come here, I asked my colleague, "Where's the room with the shape of the boo-boo?"
Yeah.
And he said, "No, it's not the room. It's the spa." So they took me here, and I was surprised. Because when you open our website, you're gonna see this picture first. So it's like our signature attraction. Yeah.
Cool.
I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of a home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads take me home.
So right before I came on this trip, I actually launched merch to the 1% Club students. And you can see we pretty much offered them hoodies, mug, and a cap. And this hoodie right here is what I call the billionaire hoodie. And this one, there's only like 100 pieces available. You can see like the billionaire logo on the top right hand corner itself. And then behind, it's pretty much like Marcus Aurelius with like Bitcoin that is tattooed on his face itself. With a quote right here that says, "Fortis Fortuna Audit," right? Which pretty much says fortune favors the bold. And it's pretty much for people who are, you know, like trying to go against the status quo, trying to trade and think like a contrarian so that we can actually get the results of like a contrarian. But yeah, that's pretty much what the hoodie stands for. And we pretty much launched that, and also like a 1% Club hoodie, 1% Club hat, and 1% Club mug. And at first I was like, holy shit, you know what, maybe this is gonna flop because like, bro, I'm not a merch kind of guy, right? And dude, almost everybody bought something. A lot of people, they spend a lot of money on like the hoodie itself, which explains because they see me always wearing the hoodie, and that's like the sniper trader uniform, right? Like the hoodie and the cap. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I was thinking of what to do with like the profits that I earn from the merch itself, right? It's like a few $1,000s, whatever. And we just really prioritize getting like the best materials for our students. I don't really need the money that I make from this merch itself. The main thing is I really just want to make sure that our students get to wear something that allows them to show the world who they really are, right? Which is part of the 1% Club, you know, and they should be honored. They should feel the pride when they actually put on a uniform and they go to the gym, or like when they start trading, you know, the 5 a.m. mornings in winter mode, you know, put on the hoodie and then start grinding, jogging in the snow. Yeah, man, like the main thing is that I just want to give them like a form of display for their identity as like the top 1%. Because once you start wearing something that makes you feel like you're part of the top 1%, you automatically start to think act and feel like the top 1%, which means you're most likely gonna like trade like a 1% trader, right? Like when you wear that 1% hoodie, you have no choice but to be disciplined, focused, calm, and equanimous. But yeah, anyways, I was thinking about like what to do with the profits, and I decided to just donate it all. I don't really talk about like my donations or like my philanthropy on YouTube channel, on public in general, because I think that when you actually talk about your donations, it's more of like a virtue signaling sort of activity rather than uh, rather than actually like doing it, because it's like what's the point of saying it just so that people can say, oh, you're so kind, you're so good, thanks for helping changing the world. So yeah, I just don't feel like a need to actually virtue signal. Like the whole point of you donating is so that you don't actually expect anything in return. And I think that's the highest form of like service. It's just give without expecting anything in return. Like the blessing is not in receiving. The blessing is in giving without wanting anything in return. Yeah, and to me, like that's what donation and philanthropy is about. It's just giving. It's like I don't really care whether you guys know about my philanthropy. I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing to make the world a better place. So yeah, I'm just gonna give away all like the profits that I make from the merch itself. The first thing was what I did is that I actually bought all the merch for like my team members, right? So pretty much subsidized that, and then on top of that, all the profits that we have actually earned from selling the merch, that's going to go into my favorite charity, which is the charity which helped me out when I was actually growing up, and it's the one which sponsored my books, my uniforms, and pretty much my school fees and my tuition fees back when I was in primary school, right? So it's like a Singapore sort of like charity. So yeah, all of the profits are going into that, and I'm just grateful to be able to do this. Like to be honest, this is like a true blessing, right? To actually create your own merchandise and then have your students wear something that represent who they are, and then now funneling like the profits into doing something good in the world. And I think that's really what the 1% Club stands for. It's like we want to make sure that our students are getting 1% better every single day so that they can eventually become the top 1% in this trading industry. And at the same time, we are making the world 1% better. Making this like a place that is more conducive, more safe, and more joyful. Yeah, man, that's pretty much what the 1% Club stand for. Anyways, right now I'm just gonna call my mom right now. I'm gonna see her reaction on like the merchandise, because she is actually a woman who sell her own clothes. She owns her own clothing shop. Before she actually owned her own clothing shop, she was actually working as like a retail assistant. And yeah, it was always like a dream to actually own her own shop, and now she does, and she enjoys every single minute of it, and she has like no plans of retiring. Like the reason why she didn't came on this vacation is because of the fact that she just loved what she do, right? So yeah, that's something that I'm really happy for her. And yeah, I'm just gonna film her like her reaction to like me making this amount of money like by selling freaking merch, right? Because like that's her specialties right there. So yeah, follow me along.
哎，哎呀，哎，爸爸是讲座啊。哎，你做这个酒店也不错啊。
对啦，
多少钱一晚
1000块。
？1000啊？嗯。1000币啊？
对啦。
哎呦，舍得出1000块1000币。
我昨天开始卖这个衣服跟这个帽子。
做这个很美啊。
我自己设计这样。
你设计这么美啊？
对啦，我像昨天才放出去而已，然后你猜我赚多少啊？昨天
？1000啊？
来，我给你看。
哇，买这么多啊！哇，你的那个粉丝这么好啊！
没有这些不是我的粉丝，这些都是学生来的，总共赚这样。
啊？赚多少？哦，都赚3000多了。
对了，3400美金。
换到来也是5000了咯。
这些像全部赚的钱哦，我要这样捐出去。
啊，对，你要做新加坡集散，以前我们要做集散要从新加坡做起，因为我们以前哦不是申请那个华社什么哦，我们赚到钱就回顾一点给他咯，回顾社会，社会他们那些人哦也可以得到帮助，人也像你一样的努力奋斗。
关于不要上进心啊，不要生于头脑。
啊，对呀，
不要努力，
做一点，
也是很努力。
回归社会的事是好事来的，钱是身外之物。
Here's a thought that I had while I was in the shower. Desire and cravings overpromise but underdeliver. And what I basically mean by that is that right now you are chasing the next shiny thing, right? You want the car, you want the house, you want the nice meal, whatever it is that you desire. Eventually when you get it, notice how it just fades away, right? Notice it doesn't really make you happy permanently. It just makes you happy temporarily. You know, your dopamine level spike up a little bit, but it starts crashing down again. And this phenomenon is what is known as hedonic adaptation, which pretty much says that when you have achieved a shiny thing, you automatically want the next shiny thing. And as a result, you're stuck on this hedonic treadmill where you just keep on running over and over again and it doesn't seem to end because of desire, because of craving. And desire is actually what creates suffering. So it's not the circumstances of your life that create suffering, but it's your desire for a better circumstances. And to me, I define happiness as a state of equilibrium when the mind no longer desires anything. Right now, nowadays, I'm as happy as a clown and I'm as free as a seagull because of the fact that I don't want anything. Like, I'm good, bro. Like, everything that I have right now, I got a great life. I got, my family is all still alive, I got great friends. I got great experiences. I got a great company, great students, great customers. My life is good. Does this mean that, I don't want an Aston Martin? Fuck no, I want an Aston Martin. Does this mean that I don't want a bigger house? Yes, I want a big house as well. But what this means is that I'm indifferent to whether I have it or not. So this allows me to just stay at a state of peace because I'm not really searching for happiness. I'm searching for peace. And peace is pretty much you ensuring that you treat every situation with equanimity. Whether it's a good situation, whether it's a bad situation, you treat it as it is, right? It just is. And I think being peaceful is pretty much the ability to just remove judgment from events. When something bad happened to you, just laugh about it because you know that life is just filled with suffering. So that's pretty much what happiness is. I fundamentally believe that anybody can be happy if you just remove desire and cravings. If you just fulfill your basic needs like water, food, shelter, all over your head, as long as you have all of those stuff, you can be happy. And funnily enough, I was on a trip on Bali, I think a few years ago, and then I was pretty much going to like this mountain called Mount Batul, and then the driver who was like driving us up there is like a guy in his 20s, and he told me that he have lived in his mountain since entire life. And I asked him, "Are you happy?" And he smiled and said yes. Bear in mind, I can genuinely see how happy he feels in that particular moment itself. I can feel how grateful he is to be riding that damn buggy at 3 a.m. every single morning. And that's a guy who doesn't desire anything. And that's what makes him happy.
Okay, so this is my driver, Bidet. Bidet, say hello.
Hello, my name is Gede from Kintamani.
So he's born on the mountain himself, and just now I was asking him like, so do you like this job? And then he says that he loves it and he enjoys every minute of it, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you like driving the Jeep?
Yes, I like, sir.
Every single day?
Yes.
Does it not get boring?
No, I like my job.
It's like he has so much lesser than me, you, watching this, whoever, but he's happy because he's living his purpose, he's helping people, and he just doesn't want anything. That's how I define happiness. This also means that happiness is a choice, right? This is something that I've taken from Naval Ravikant. Happiness is a choice. You decide whether you want to be happy or not. Like if I decide to be happy right now and smile, who's gonna stop me? Nobody. If I'm in a road march carrying like a freaking machine gun slinging over my neck, I'm in the most painful state I've ever been, and I still choose to be happy, guess what? Who's gonna stop me? Nobody. It's a choice. You decide whether you want to be happy or not. If you tell yourself every single day, oh, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm living in lack, I'm living in scarcity, I'm fearful, I'm doubting myself, then guess what? You're forever gonna be miserable. Because you are what you repeatedly tell yourself. And that is also why the two most powerful words in the English dictionary is I am. Because whatever comes after I am dictates your reality. So happiness is a choice, and this also means that happiness is a skill. It's a skill that anyone can develop, regardless of skin color, regardless your social background, your political belief, whatever weird little circumstance you like fucking define yourself as. It's a choice. And I always say this, in life, you don't get what you want, you get what you deserve. And this also means that you have to play the cards that you're dealt with. Okay, like I'm born an Asian, cool. I'm just gonna make the best out of this. I can be as handsome as possible, which I am, working on it. And I can be as jacked as possible, which I am, working on it. Or I can just sit there and just lament that, oh fuck man, I'm Asian and I'm not white. Bro, play the cards that you're dealt with. That's it. And last but not least, this is something that I've taken from Stoicism. Externals do not determine happiness. Character does. Everything outside you is a preferred indifference. Strive for wealth, health, and happiness, but do not be attached to them. Because nothing is permanent in this life. And happiness comes from virtue, not from possessions. That car will not make you happy, that mansion will not make you happy, that new pair of Nike sneakers will not make you happy, that freaking iPhone 17, 18, 20 Pro Max will not make you happy. It might make you feel joyful temporarily, but it's not gonna bring you long-term peace. Only you can bring yourself long-term peace when you make happiness a choice. Nailed it. Nailed it. Whoa, baby. So yeah, good day, man. Yo, this is fucking funny, bro.